Welcome to StartUpHealth TV. I'm Logan Plaster. We celebrate the entrepreneurs and innovators who are transforming the future of health. I'm excited to be here with Chris O'Brien from AdhereTech. We've talked before. I'm really excited to hear what is the latest and greatest.
Well, thanks. It's great to be here today.
Okay, so last time we talked, it was all about medication adherence, medication non-adherence, and this new platform that you came up with called the Aidia System. But I want to start with medication non-adherence because I've been in this industry for more than a decade, and it's been kind of a holy grail for a long time. Everyone has talked about if we could just get people taking the right dose at the right time, we would save a lot of money, save a lot of lives. So talk to me about kind of where we're at just with that challenge today.
Well, it's been a lifelong challenge and beyond. My mom was a pediatrician. I grew up in the 80s, and she would complain all the time about the evil parents that wouldn't give their kids antibiotics. And so it's not a new problem. It is a very, very hard problem. Patients don't take their meds for all kinds of reasons. And we call it non-adherence. For them, it's just they forget, or they can't afford the med, or they're having side effects, whatever it is. And we, as a company, are very focused on the fact that meds don't work in patients that don't take them. And if we can change that together with the healthcare system, it will make an enormous difference in people's health, and it will save a lot of money in avoidable healthcare expenses.
Yeah. But just to problematize that a little bit, we've been throwing technology at it for a while now with different reminders. Have we taken a bite out of the problem?
Well, the sad truth is that especially digital health approaches really don't work. And at AdhereTech, with the Aidia System, we're taking a very different approach. We use smart devices, smart pill bottles, things like that patients just use like a regular pill bottle. We make no assumptions about technology that patients have to have in the home. You don't have to have an internet connection. Some of our patients are homeless. You don't have to have a smartphone. All you have to be able to do is use a different pill bottle. Okay. And patients can do that. Okay. And so because of that, we get a much larger number of patients to join a program, and we keep them in the program for a longer period of time. And if they take their meds as they're supposed to, nothing happens. But if they don't, we have a real-time connection to those smart bottles, and our back-end Aidia platform can see that, and we send messages into the clinical system at the pharmacy or the medical practice.
Okay.
And that's what makes the difference.
Got it. Okay, since you have a physical product, let's break it down really clearly for the viewer. You have a smart pill bottle. Do you have to have the smart pill bottle?
You do, yeah, okay. Today. So, because that's what's monitoring the patient.
Got it.
So largely passive.
It's Bluetooth or?
Nope, cell-connected, yep.
Cell-connected, okay.
That's right.
So a cell-connected bottle can work for any prescription?
Any oral today.
Oral prescription,
yep.
Okay.
Pills, capsules.
And it knows when you've opened it? How does that work?
Knows when you opened it. It's got a sensor there, it's got accelerometers, and it's got a little board in it, a battery, a cell modem, and it's connected securely to our back-end platform. So we know what the dose time is, where the patient's supposed to take the med, and if they miss it, we do things like gentle reminders, lights on the bottle, chimes. A lot of patients like that. It's fine if they don't turn it off. But what really works is solving that information gap, that last mile of healthcare, knowing for the practice, for the pharmacy, who's taking their meds as they should be and who's not. Because we don't believe that technology by itself changes behavior. People change behavior. Yeah. Your doctor can change your behavior. Your pharmacist can change your behavior. Okay. Our technology and sending you clever text messages, not likely to do it.
Yeah. Talk to us about the success that you've seen. Is it working?
It works incredibly well. We today, most of our revenue comes from large pharmaceutical manufacturers that are paying us to run programs for their patients, and we see routinely 40 to 50% more patients staying on a first-line oncolytic, for example, at the end of 12 months. I mean, that's huge. Just think about all those patients that aren't progressing to more serious chemotherapy or surgery or, of course, having their condition get worse and even death, right? And so it's great for patients. It's definitely saving downstream healthcare costs, but it's really good for the pharma manufacturers because they spend all this money acquiring a drug, marketing a drug, and then people stop taking it after 2 or 3 months when they have side effects. We keep them on for a year longer, and that makes a big difference to their revenue.
Yeah. When you launched the Aidia system, was that last year? That was relatively recently?
That's right, yeah.
But the company's been around for how long?
The company's been around for about 10 years,
10
actually.
years.
Yeah.
So last year, you really transitioned from a product to a platform. Is that fair to say?
That's right, yeah. Originally, the company launched and was working largely with academic researchers around very small-scale studies. And then we transitioned to working with national specialty pharmacies, Humana, Optum, Onco360, and others, as well as large pharma manufacturers. And that's when we launched the platform, because it's great to have the software in the bottle itself, but what really works is the deep integration with the care systems at the pharmacies, at the medical practices, because that's where the rubber meets the road in getting the patients the help they need in real time.
Yeah, I guess, my curiosity is around the success of that platform strategy, because we're seeing greater and greater integration. people are getting tired of sort of point solutions.
That's right.
And so, is this your way of kind of moving upstream and getting involved in more of the conversation?
It is, and that's really the goal, because today we're working largely with the more expensive oral specialty meds, but over time we really want to take the data and the experience we're generating and start to work in a lot more health conditions, HIV, diabetes, recently discharged heart failure patients, and there the revenue model is very different, right? You got to go to the at-risk providers, go to the payers, and so we're just now starting our first pilots with some of those groups, and we'll see. We've got to generate very different data you need, but we're seeing the same effect. We keep people on the meds that save their lives longer.
I'm glad you mentioned the more expensive pharmaceuticals, because a lot of folks like myself who aren't on these drugs, they don't realize how expensive they are and what it really means to miss one. So maybe you could talk to that.
Well, it's difficult in multiple ways. First of all, these drugs are incredibly expensive to develop, right? And so, of course, the pharma companies have to charge a certain amount for them in order to see a return. I think
some are tens of thousands of dollars.
10,000, and more sometimes. That's right. That's right.
So missing a single pill, obviously for you, it's life changing, and then for the
the thing that you have to remember, these drugs work, right? I mean, you can be many cancers are now like HIV. You can be on this drug for the rest of your life, 10, 15 years or more, right? And the trouble is, it's very hard for people to stay on these meds. They might feel okay, they might be having side effects, and when they drop off, then things get much worse, right? And affordability is a real issue for these patients, and many times they'll stop taking the med thinking they can't afford it, not realizing there's a free drug program, not realizing that there are discounted doses of the med available if they just knew to ask. And that's where we come in. We help the pharmacy know which patients are stopping. We don't know why, but the pharmacist calls, they find out why, they can do something about it.
Got it. Last question, I feel like you, in your time there, you may have bumped into somebody who you really helped stay on their meds. I mean, do you have any personal stories?
Gosh, there are so many. I mean, we get calls all the time from patients or text messages. We send automated text messages, and patients will text back with a long life story about how, oh, thank you so much. I was
Into
able
the
to stay on
automated
med.
system?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
And then we look at them. We have to review them anyway, of course, for various reasons. But we just heard a story about someone who very rapid progression of cancer, a lot of side effects. She managed to get through it because her pharmacist was calling her every day whenever she missed a dose. She got to go to her daughter's wedding, and it was just the most beautiful thing in the world.
I love it.
She's still in the program today.
All right. Chris, admire the work that you're doing. We're going to be watching AdhereTech in 2023, and wish you the best.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right.
Good to see you.
Take care.
Take care.